Welcome to the Ganz PixelMaster video training series. Today we will be introducing you to the PixelMaster's Search by Time feature. Using a mouse or remote control, select Menu and then select Search. If a logon screen appears, that's okay. It simply means that you have password check for search and backup enabled, as I do here. Enter your password. In my case, it's the factory default of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then press OK. You should now see the Time Search tab found in the Search menu of the PixelMaster. In the Search menu, you will also find a tab for Thumbnail Search, Event Search, and the Text in Search tab. Today we will be covering the Time Search tab, while the Thumbnail, Event, and Text in Search tabs will be covered in additional videos. Now that we know where the Time Search tab is, let's get familiar with its functions. Located toward the top left of the Time Search tab is the Calendar function, and it is here that we can navigate to a specific date and time. At the top of the calendar is listed the month and year. To navigate to a prior month and/or year, select the back arrow. To navigate back to the current month and year, select the forward arrow. If a particular day of the currently shown month is required, simply select that day. To find the oldest recorded data, select the first button at the bottom of the calendar. To return to or find the newest recorded data, select the last button at the bottom of the calendar. Selecting the clock icon to the right of the date and time will allow you to manually input a specific date and time. By selecting the up arrow of the year, month, day, hour, minute, and/or seconds, higher numbers can be selected. By selecting the down arrow of the year, month, day, hour, minute, and/or seconds, lower numbers can be selected. Now that we understand the various ways to navigate the calendar and manually enter a specific date and time, let's look at the timeline. The timeline is recognized by its long rectangular view found to the right of the calendar. Located directly above the timeline is the data type legend, indicating if the data showing to the right of a video channel is pre-recorded, continuous, alarm, motion, or panic-based. Directly below the data type legend, across the top of the timeline are the units of measure seen as 0-100 hours through to 2300 hours. The timeline is an industry standard military time, but is easy enough to mentally translate into the standard AM/PM time frame. Along the left side of the timeline is the list of available video channels, 1 through 4, 1 through 8, or 1 through 16, depending on the model of the PixelMaster in question. As mentioned before, to the right of the available video channels is the recorded data. The type of recorded data is indicated by referencing the matching color of the data type legend. Example being, light green would indicate pre-recording, dark green would indicate continuous recording, red would indicate alarm-based recording, light blue would indicate motion-based recording, and yellow would indicate panic-based recording. Below the timeline can be found a few navigational functions. The refresh function, which essentially refreshes the on-screen timeline data, making the latest recording available for review. The magnifying glass with the minus sign and the magnifying glass with the plus sign are for zooming out and zooming in on the timeline. When zooming in, note that the timeline adjusts from 24 hours, down to 12 hours, down to 6 hours, down to 3 hours, down to 2 hours, and lastly down to 30-minute units of measure. To the right of the zoom in out functions are the backward and forward functions. By selecting the forward function, the timeline moves to the left, allowing for moving forward on the timeline. By selecting the backward function, the timeline moves to the right, allowing for moving backward on the timeline. Along the bottom of the Time Search tab are the thumbnail representations of the available video channels. As a time frame is selected from the timeline, the corresponding video for each camera will be displayed in the thumbnails. As each video channel is selected, its recorded video will appear live in the preview window to the left. The preview window allows for a thumbnail review of recorded video from any selected video channel. The thumbnail review will play from the selected time and end upon the selection of either another video channel, end of recorded data, or function selection. If the preview window is not enough and full or traditional playback is required, there are two ways to accomplish that. Either by double-clicking on the selected video channel, or by selecting a video channel and then clicking on the playback button. Either of the two selection options will lead to the launch of the playback function. Note the playback function will be covered in a separate video from this one. If you are looking for instructions on navigation of the playback menu, please look forward to that video. In order to exit the Time Search tab and return to the live view, click on Close and the NVR will return to the live view mode. Well, that completes our training video on the Time Search tab for the Ganz PixelMaster NVR. Thank you for viewing this video and keep an eye on our website for more to come.